First we start with the battery cap O-ring, unclip the clip so it lines up, and just pull it out. The O-ring itself, just gather it together in between your thumb and your forefinger and push it towards the top. It'll form a small loop which you can just pull off the edge of the cap. Okay, so this is the O-ring. What I'm going to do is leave the O-ring for a second and put it down, because what I really want to do first is to look at the O-ring groove and make sure the O-ring groove on the cap is clean all the way around. Pull out the grease and most of the detritus that's in there. So put the kitchen roll firmly into the groove and just rotate the cap. Okay, check the tissue and see what comes out, so whether it comes out clean or whether it comes out dirty. Just find a clean piece of tissue or kitchen roll and wipe it again and in the other direction. So we're making sure that we get right into the corners of the cap. Once we've done that, place the cap down, we also want to check on the O-ring seat inside the flash gun. Okay, and again we want to do the same thing. Hold up the kitchen roll, so we've got a clean piece of kitchen roll, and just literally run it around the inside of the cap, the inside of the flash gun on the O-ring seat. And the O-ring seat is this smooth piece between the locking bayonet and the battery box. Once you're happy that's nice and clean, what you do need to do is have a careful look to make sure there's no signs of any scratches on this surface. Any scratches certainly going this down, which happens when you put a dirty battery cap in as you slide it in and out, so it scratches the sides of the O-ring seat. And if it scratches it in that direction, it can form a leak path if the scratches are deep enough. Okay, once you've cleaned those and checked those and you're happy with those, it's time to clean the O-ring. So again, you can use warm soapy water, you can use a cloth, you can use your fingers, you can use whatever you've got to hand really. Warm soapy water is probably the best, only mild soapy water. And to make sure the O-ring is in good condition, first of all fill the O-ring. So rotate it in the crook of your finger, very light pressure on the O-ring, and just feel what's going on. If you feel any lumps or bumps or nicks or anything else, then inspect a bit closer and just make sure you've got right in there to see what's going on. We're looking for signs of nicks or even bits of embedded sand or salt. Yeah, you're also looking for a heavy flash line where the two parts of the O-ring are put together, where the mold just oozes out a bit of flash every now and again. Most of the manufacturer's O-rings are good quality, so you shouldn't get that. If you're happy with those two O-rings, then we put them together. Now it's a CNC flash gun, so it's quite important to use CNC grease. Somebody had to go and find the CNC grease then. I've got a small bit of CNC grease left. I'll have to open a new pot soon, but a tiny bit of grease on my finger will be ample. That's probably way too much, but that's not a problem. So pick up the O-rings, wipe this one round the crook of my finger. Once I've gone one way round, turn it and go the other way round as well. With a smaller O-ring, it doesn't fit in around the finger at that point, so just wipe it round with the other O-ring. As I said, over-greasing doesn't matter too much at this stage, because if I have over-greased it, I'll put it in the crook of the next finger down and just wipe off the excess. Again, turn it round in both directions. Now what we're looking for is we're looking for an O-ring that just looks wet, and that is perfect. Likewise, putting the O-ring back on here on the main battery cap. Slide the O-ring on and just slide it over the top. It's a good idea to clean the contacts just in case you've managed to touch them with your fingers or with the O-ring as you saw I just did then. Just make sure there's no grease on them. If need be, you can go in there with the degreaser to clean those off. So I just need to insert the batteries. I've got a battery diagram on the top to show you which way the batteries go in, and they always go opposite. So if you've got positive at the top there, the next one round is negative. Then we've got positive, negative showing up the top. Once they're in place, make sure you've got the arrow on the dot. Place dot to dot at this point with that arrow going to the lock at the top. Push firmly and rotate the lock until it clicks. Job done. What you can then do is quickly check the flash gun charges up and it's ready to go. And off again. Job done.